How's it going, everyone, and hope you're doing well. Welcome to this boot comparison, speed boots comparison we could say, between the three brands that you have here: Puma, Nike and Adidas, the three main guys for the current football boots brands. And we're just going to be reviewing in terms of the sizing, the price and the weight of these boots to help you determine to see which speed boot is for you, especially heading towards the new season. And first time, these three brands have brought out new boots, new speed boots. It's a lot of decisions to be made in terms of different factors as well. So we're just going to help you out in this video to make you be a bit more certain in terms of which boot to go for before you go and try them on, and then make your finalized decision towards buying the speed boots that you want. So when it comes down to speed boots, they're much more designed for narrow feet types and normal feet types than wide feet. But out of the three, it comes down to the Puma Ultra 5s, the new carbon with the carbon sole plates. These ones are the most narrow-like in terms of the feet types. So it's much more targeted for narrow feet players. Normal feet type players, you can still wear them, but just got to get the right sizing when it comes down to these Pumas. These Pumas, as we said, is the most narrow out of the three between the Vapor 16s and then the Adidas F50s. So if you have narrow to normal feet types, then we highly recommend going for these. Especially if you have narrow feet, then these will be the most ideal one for you. If you're looking for something that is much more of a speed-like feel, very aggressive turns and change of directions, especially with their sole plate, which we find is the most aggressive one out of the three, then you should go for the Puma Ultra 5s. It's much more beneficial for players that like that kind of fast pace, quick change of directions, athletic type of player. Next up we have the Adidas F50s, which we believe is in the middle in terms of the fit for the feet types. This one, if you have wide feet, because of the compression fit in the middle of the laces system, it varies in terms of when you get the sizing and whether it will fit your own feet type if you have a wide feet. So it doesn't guarantee that you'll definitely be able to wear these if you've got wide feet, but the best solution is to try them on, and then you'll get a rough feeling in terms of whether it's fit for you or you should go for a different pair of football boots. The main thing is, if you have wide feet, is to go true to size first, your usual Adidas footwear sizing. And then if it's too snug or too tight in certain areas, going a half size up should usually give you a bit more leeway in terms of the midfoot and toe box area. However, if you have wide feet and when you've tested it on, going a half size up, and some certain areas is still too tight, and then you've got a bit more leeway in some other areas in the boots, then we recommend going for, let's say if you want to stick with Adidas, let's say go for the Predators or Copas, which is much more accommodating. But if you feel like it has a nice fit for both the sections of the toe box, midfoot and also heel area, and you have wide feet, then you can stick with it, and going either half size up should be fine, but go according to your own comfort and how you feel for when you wear the Adidas F50s. You should already have a good idea once you put your feet into the boots if it is a good fit, if it's too tight, or you need to go for a different pair of football boots. And the last one is the Mercurial Vapor 16s. So this year, initially we thought it would be very similar to the 15s, where it wouldn't accommodate the wide feet types much. However, after trying them on, we found that there was a bit more leeway for wide feet players, especially people in our team with wide feet were trying on the Vapor 16s and felt like going a half size up actually gave them much more space in the midfoot and also toe box area, especially when they've done up the laces as well. So for this one, for the Vapor 16s, we recommend people with wide feet is to actually try the boots on, whether you're in the Nike store or in a sports shop, to actually try the shoes and the different sizings on. You can either try from half size up to one full size up from your usual Nike footwear sizing, and then you can go from there and see which one is much more of a nice and comfortable fit for you. But this year's Vapor 16s are much more accommodating for wide feet, so will definitely fit much more wide feet players than the other two speed boots. But for these ones, as it's always a speed boot, always go and try them on first and see how they feel, because if they're too tight in some areas and then you've got a lot of space, let's say in the toe box areas, after going up a half to one size up, then that means the fit is not right for you, and you should go for, let's say, Phantom GX or Tiempos, which is much more accommodating for wide feet players. And for very wide feet, if you're watching this video, you can always try for all three of them going a half to one full size up from the usual footwear sizing. But if they don't fit or are uncomfortable in some certain areas, just like the wide feet, move on to a different pair of the boots of that brand that you want to go for, which is much more focused on wide and very wide feet players. But most of the time for very wide feet, we just don't recommend speed boots at all, because there's just not enough space for, let's say, the toe box area or midfoot. Now, when you're looking at the weight of the three boots, Puma Ultra 5s weigh the heaviest, with roughly going around 220 to 221 grams for each football boots. Then second will be Mercurial Vapor 16s, which is around roughly at the moment 212 to 213 grams. And then the lightest one is the Adidas F50 of 202 to 203 grams. So if you're looking for the most light boot, go for the Adidas F50s. If the weight is not too much difference, again, between the three there's only about 10-20 grams difference. If it's not too much difference, then go for the after you've done the comfort and feel for it, then go for which one you prefer in terms of, let's say, design, colorway, and the branding that you like out of the three. But the most important thing is, as we always say, is find out which one's most comfortable for you, and then you can work your way out from there. Of course, if you have narrow to normal feet type, you've got more choice, more options, which is why we've decided to weigh it down, and it'll give you another factor to think of. Some people really like to have a lightweight, barefoot-like feel, whereas other people want a speed boot that's a bit more heavier, that offers a bit more protection. So it just depends what you are looking for. So when it comes down to the pricing of these three boots, the cheapest edition at the moment, you're looking between the Adidas F50s and the Puma Ultra 5s. They're going for around 220 to 230 euros or pounds. You may be able to get them for some cheaper as well, especially on the Puma ones. On the app Puma, they're always doing full price discounts from like 20 to 30% off. So if you're looking for the cheapest elite speed boots of the latest editions, go for Pumas. You always be able to save much more with the Puma. Then Adidas F50s also do deals, maybe not as frequent, but sometimes with Christmas or New Year's or summer sales, you'll be able to get a nice discount with the Adidas F50s. And then the last one is the most expensive one, which is the Mercurial Vapor 16s, currently going around 250 to 260 euros or pounds. And it's very unlikely at the moment for the price to drop. Usually if they do drop, they don't drop too much. So if pricing is a big factor, it's between the Adidas F50s and Puma Ultra 5s, because the Vapor 16s are very expensive when it comes to the price bargaining. As we always ask, when you're watching this video, to make sure to leave a comment down below if you have one of these pairs or if you have a few of them, just to let us know what you think in terms of pros and cons, as it helps out people that are watching this video now or in future reference make a decision to see which one is for them. And the comments really help them out, especially when there's some replies going as well. So make sure to continue on doing so. And thanks again for watching this comparison video between the newest speed boots at the moment. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a video a like and to subscribe to our channel, as we plan to make many more comparisons or unboxings in the near future. All the very best and take care.